G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today, me and the family are going to check out Paradise Country up on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. I'm going to give you a bit of a tour of everything there is to see here and my thoughts on what the experience is like. If you're thinking about coming for a visit, maybe you've got the theme park pass and this is one of the places you're umming and ahhing about, so let's go in and check out Paradise Country. Okay, so here we are at the entrance to Paradise Country. It's quite a walk down from the parking lot. In fact, the walk from the parking lot I reckon is even longer than the walk around Paradise Country. So just be aware of that. It's it's flat. You can push a pram along it, no worries. But it's in a baking hot heat. It's actually a pretty significant walk. And this is where you enter. It's a little country farmhouse style thing. A little gift shop. And just give a quick idea of the entrance here and what there is. So just down here is kind of like a buffet hall. They do big lunches and stuff. It was actually pretty crowded when we got here. And this gives you a little idea of, which way to go to see the various animals and exhibits. So you definitely want to know what you're getting into here. It's basically this place, I feel anyway, it's set up for tourists to come and get a photo of themselves with a koala, pat a kangaroo, see an emu, do all those things that are difficult to do if you've just landed in the Gold Coast and that's your only Australian destination. So the opal mine would be really cool, I reckon. It's only on at 10 and 2:15 though. I know you can between 10 and 2:15 you can buy a kit and come down here, okay. Go down to the mine, see what you can get. $12 per person. There's this place here, there's the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. I've done a separate video on the Wildlife Sanctuary. It's definitely worth checking out. Potentially that's the better of the two, or it's easily the better of the two, but Paradise Country does come closer to the Gold Coast, and it also comes with the theme park pass that you might get with SeaWorld, Movie World and Wet n Wild. I'd say the vast majority of people turn up here on that excellent value theme park pass. So there's not much going on. It's a very small thing. I'm going to give you a full tour so you get to understand it. We'll just start down here where it's the farm animals, and then we'll circle back around to the tractor ride. You'll also see Sean from Sean the Sheep around bits of places. There's also, I think it's Gromit from Wallace and Gromit, so they've obviously got an Aardman partnership of some sort. I mean, this is owned by Warner Brothers, so I don't know if Aardman is. You potentially think there'd be a Tasmanian tiger, or you'd choose Looney Tunes, but anyway, whatever. So in here you can go, there's like a padding room, a photo room, some feeding spots in there if you've timed it right. Otherwise you can just walk in through the entire farm area, pat the goats. They ask you not to feed the animals, but you can obviously just pull up clumps of grass. I think they mean you don't feed it, your sausage sandwich or something. There's a little bit of splash park in there as well. And look, the kids always get excited with the farm animals. They do. Now if we walk up from there, in here is the wildlife walkabout. And that's where you're going to get your close encounters with the Australian animals. So you actually walk in through the hut up here, and it's all set up to monetize you with lots of squishy toys and photo opportunities and encounters and all these types of things you can upgrade with should you want. Otherwise, you can just walk in here, get pretty close to the animals. There's kangaroos, you can go pat the kangaroos. There's emus, I don't recommend patting them. They will peck you. Scary things, those emus. There's plenty of koalas that you can get pretty close to and get a really good look at. And they're pretty active too, actually, for koalas. There's a Tasmanian devil, which I think is a fascinating animal. It's really lovely checking them out. There's a wombat as well, but we didn't get to see the wombat today. He was hidden. But you get pretty good access, pretty close access, and the kids can get right up and pat a kangaroo. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If that's something that you have not done before, you can come here and you can absolutely do it. So here's the Wildlife Photo Centre. So you enter through there to get through to the wildlife walkabout. And you'll see this huge queue of tourists all lined up for an opportunity to get in front of one of these photo booths and take a photo with a koala. That gives you exactly the idea of the target audience, I believe. There's some photo session times there. So one of the things I do think they've slipped up with is that there's lots of really cool things to do here. Like there's opal mining, there's gold mining, there's a sheep shearing experience, there's lorikeet feeding. All these cool things you can do outside of the paid for encounters and everything that you can also do on top of that, like meerkat encounters and koala encounters and so forth. There's some more koalas there. You can get pretty close to them. Lorikeet feeding happens up here twice a day. But the gaps between everything are too large. It's not a big place. Like you really would be struggling to want to spend 2 hours here, I reckon. And at the end of the day, if they've got like the sheep shearing on at 10, it's only going to 2:30 and you turn up here at 11. I just think they should just do it in clumps where they just like they just do everything in 2 hours and take a break, then do everything in the next 2 hours, rather than trying to spread it out like that. So you can come here and have a really good 2 hours. It's packed full with encounters and experiences and things to see and do, and then you leave and go down to Wet n Wild or whatever, which is just around the corner. It's dingoes over there. You can see it's been quite a hot day actually, and it's the middle of the day right now, so I don't blame them. They're lying down in the shade. It's pretty much exactly what I want to do. Now we did just have Cyclone Alfred here in early 2025, and this place up here, Have a Mate headquarters, didn't survive the storm by the sounds of it, and so they're heavily working in there at the moment. I'm not sure what used to be in there, but I feel like there's a lot of kids activities, and there's more koalas and a wombat down there. You can see, get nice and close. This bloke sitting there, nice and stoned. Especially because obviously you get here at certain times of the day and old mate wombat, he's not out and about. So you're not going to hang around for hours. It's not like a typical zoo where there's a huge walk and plentiful exhibits. Now I just want to show you this over here. So you can stay here. There's a farmstay experience. You can stay in what looks to me like glamping experiences over here. I can see quite a few of them. I have no idea what they're like, but you can obviously stay on site there. Which, if you got the theme park pass, could actually be pretty cool. Stay there for a couple of nights, because literally you can hear Movie World from here, and Wet n Wild is just around the corner. So, and there's a shuttle bus that'll take you between them. So you could literally stay there and just send the kids down on the shuttle bus and go for your lives, boys and girls. All right. So that is actually the extent of the park. So we've just done the whole, whatever it is, east to west roughly, end to end. And then it just loops back around, which I'll take you through. So you can see it's not a big location. There's is that Grommet? I reckon that's Grommet, not Wallace. You can do pony rides over here. It's another experience that can be done. There's a park down here, which I'll show you in a sec, and I'll show you inside the food hall as well. But for the sake of completion, I just wanted to show you an idea of the walk that you're up for if you're pushing a pram around or so forth. Obviously, it's heavily focused on younger kids. My 13-year-old, he's ready to bash me, I think, for taking him here. He's like, you can hear Movie World, he's just going, what are we doing here? My youngest boy, he's 9, he's much more into it. My 11-year-old daughter, she's pretty, excited about the idea of pony rides and patting animals and so forth. But yeah, and you can tell from the shore and the sheep that's lying around that this is mostly focused at much younger kids and or tourists who are just crazy excited about seeing a kangaroo, which I totally get. That's me in other countries. Looks like maybe the sheep shitting's starting up. So I'll go and show you a look down here. So we're pretty much circled around to the front there. That's that food hall I was telling you about. I'll take you there in a second. And you got the meerkat encounter down here as well. So they're getting ready for the sheep shearing in there, I guess. There's the meerkats down here. Oh, there's that playground. It's under maintenance at the moment. It probably also got damaged by the cyclone, I suspect. Would have nailed that hay. So there's a pretty cool climbing thing there for the kids. And then a big meerkat enclosure up here, and you can do encounters with them. There's one. G'day, buddy. Thanks for saying hello. Righto. So they do like horse shows and so forth here, I believe. There you go. 2 people, 115, one person, $65 at 1 p.m. Meerkat encounter. We've done them before actually, elsewhere. They're pretty awesome. Billabong Zoo down Port Macquarie, we did it. Check out my channel for a video. There you go, some prices for you. This is all closed at the moment, but we're out of school holidays in autumn, so maybe they just don't run it then. There you go, there's the so the sheep shearing experience is actually pretty cool. It's definitely worth trying to catch if you can time it in. But like I said, I think I need to do it more often and just have everyone, all the kind of experiences grouped together a little more, because it's just, as you can see, it's not a very big place. Now there is free train rides. The train ride goes for about 2 minutes. Sorry, it's a tractor, I should say. And you get on the tractor down here. It does a little loop for you. It's a nice little bit of fun for the kids, I guess. It's very, very short, gives you an idea of the scope of everything. And over here, there's one of the kids' favourites, which is the gemstone fossicking experience. So you can put dirt and so forth in here, and try and unearth a gem from the dirt you pick up. So that's pretty cool. Identify your gem. And you can pan for gold here as well at the appropriate times. That's a nice little addition. It's actually, the kids probably spend more time there than anywhere else. And a campfire, I suspect either that's obviously for winter. It looks pretty fresh though. Maybe they do that for the farmstay individuals. And I'll quickly just show you in here, give you an idea of, we can hold a lot of people, right? Give you an idea of the buffet experience. It's pretty much the basics. Salad, some rolls over there. There's a bar. It's definitely not the most craziest of spots, but certainly enough to get you out of a jam. And that takes you back to the main entrance. I can find a menu for you. I've just finished lunch, so here we go. $17 for a cocktail, $10 for a James Squire, lunch selection. And a kids meal there, looks like $15 for a kids meal. And there's the beers. So I'm not sure how much the buffet is, but you know, that's resort prices. Actually, everything's resort prices in Australia nowadays, to be honest. All right, there we go. So down the bottom here, we've got a bit more to see. Kind of gives you a bit of an old-timey Outback Australia vibe. Here's Roger and Taffy. Yeah, like I said, I've seen like show jumping competitions here before. Last time I was here, a few years back, that was like, yeah, it looked like people were competing. Definitely looked like a setup for that. There's some experiences down here. I think you can do some like Billy T experiences, maybe damper they do as well. Not sure. You can see they've all got it set up there with the billies and a bit of a fire pit. Obviously, I think that'd be much more welcomed in the middle of winter. And the stables through there, which I don't think are for the likes of us guests. Hey, g'day mate. Why the long face? Oh, there's the Outback Dunny. You see some old carriages. Bit of a museum, I guess. Yeah, it's cool old carts. Yeah, so that's what's down here. I suspect they get a lot of schools through here. You see that in Wet and Wild as well, get a lot of schools. So I think Village Roadshow has many a deal set up in that regard. Yeah, okay. Up towards the farmhouse. So there you have it guys, there's a tour and some review thoughts on Paradise Country here on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. Yeah, like I said at the top, you just really need to know what you're going to get here. It's not a big experience, it's not very diverse. It does offer a couple of very key things that some people are going to be really interested in, like patting a kangaroo, taking a photo with a koala, bits and pieces like that. If you've already got the theme park pass and you've got a couple of hours to kill, which was us today, why not drop by and check it out? I would be holding off probably on actually, if you just wanted to have a zoo experience, just kind of buying a ticket outright for this place. I think you're probably better suited going down to the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary, which has much more diversity and is a bigger and more full day of activities. And yeah, also I think that they could potentially look at mixing up their timetable a bit, assuming it's okay with the animals, of course, to maybe just expect everyone to be here for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour strike mission and just provide an option for people to just kind of see everything in that go rather than trying to loiter around waiting for a sheep shearing thing or, you know, the snake encounter or whatever happens to be. So that would be my only bit of advice. But otherwise, yeah, as long as you know what you're going to get, then I'm sure you'll be more than happy with the results. All right, I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos. Until next time, I'm getting back on the road. You.